Just to say that everything you just said, tangentially, I've had in my life for almost 30 years. Just so you know. I mean, as a child, I hid behind the settee when the first black and white Daleks appeared. Hiding behind the settee as a kid. And then I toured with Terry Nation, who became a very good friend of mine. So did John Pertwee. So Doctor Who has been in my life for quite a long time, from being, you know, this big. And somebody mentioned Jules Verne. I choreographed all the shows in Jules Verne, all the sword fights in the shows. So they flew me up to Montreal to choreograph all those sword fights. If you remember, one of the big ones was with when Michael Praed fought his sister, and it was a huge sword fight directed by Ian Sharp. Monty Python, I toured with Eric Idle, doing Eric Idle exploits Monty Python. You're talking about my life here. And I just want to know, on the note that she especially wanted me to say this to you because you're celebrating the BritFest. Her Majesty wanted you to know it didn't look like things were working out too well with your form of government. So when you're ready, give me the nod, I'll give her a call, and we'll take you back into the Empire. All speaking. Not a problem. And just so you know, as an adopted American now, I get invited on the 4th of July, so people stand there as a token Brit and go, every time, and I sing Jerusalem or God Save the Queen or something, and then there's a fight. So, you know. Yes, but I also played John Dickinson in 1776. So I have a mad and eclectic bunch of stories about all of these different things that you're talking about. But one of my best memories was being at a convention in London. We'd just finished a film called First Night, where Sean Connery, whose son Jason was one of our Robins in Robin of Sherwood, but Sean actually spoke to me several times, actually, and one time he did say to me, "Who are you?" "What do you want?" And get out of my way. And we were at a convention in London, and there was myself, John Pertwee, God rest his soul, what a talented and brilliant and funny man he was. Jean-Luc Picard in the shape of Patrick Stewart. And we were stood there, and there was a gentleman in the corner, and we were just kind of looking at each other. And Patrick Stewart looked at me, and Pertwee looked at each other. He went, "This is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen." He said, "You're the captain of the Enterprise. You're Nazir the Saracen, who holds the record for killing most people in 1 hour of family viewing in the UK. That's true. I'm Doctor Who, but that guy over there is Arthur C. Clarke, the writer of 2001. And we were all stood in the room like fanboys going, "That's Arthur C. Can I have your water?" So this mad business has, what can I say? It's been an incredibly insane journey where I've gathered all kinds of friends and contacts and had so much fun around the world doing what we're doing. And of course now, for the last 4 films, I've been a giant alien robot. And if you haven't seen it, go and see. We went the premiere. The reason I had to come today was because we had the premiere on Wednesday night in New York. Obviously, there's one in Hong Kong as well. And it's absolutely off the scale. It's insane. You've got to go see it. Go and see it in IMAX if you can. But in that one, I play this character called Lockdown, which is, yes, he's a badass. Optimus, I have come for you. All the way across the galaxy. Something like that. And as you know, I've also done Behold the Glory of Jetfire. And on a funny story about Jetfire, you're wearing wings. I saw that earlier on, yes. I'm not going to say any more about that, right? This person wearing wings. That actually grew out of being in the studio with Michael, and I was struggling, as I normally am, for voices to try and find something to say with these characters. And I was pulling voices out the air and doing all my usual impersonations of people, you know, Anthony Hopkins and everybody else. And all of a sudden, I heard Winston's voice in my head. And so Jetfire is actually Ray Winston. Behold the glory of Jetfire, I'm a mercenary doombringer. And Michael actually said to me, he said, I've heard that voice before. It's a very good friend of mine. And Ray went to see the film and he called me from London and he went, Marky, you cheeky bugger. I've been Beowulf, I've been gangsters, and now I'm a bleeding giant alien robot. Cheeky son, you. That's how it usually comes about. And the funny thing was, on the set with Mark Wahlberg, who is absolutely a gentleman, lovely, lovely fella. We were stood there watching the monitor, watching some shots or something. And again, I'm trying out voices, and I'm saying, is that okay for you? Is that, you know? He went, that rings a bell somewhere, that. I said, I'm not quite sure, but I said, you worked with him, actually, a friend of mine, in a film called The Departed. He went, that's Ray Winston. And Mark Wahlberg does the best Ray Winston impersonation. And there we were on the set being Ray Winston. He's going, shall I do it like this? Shall I do it like Ray? You know what I mean? Them shorts are too short. Get something else on. So yes, this business has afforded me this mad career that I've had, swords and travelling around the world, being a pirate as well as you have. Black Sails, thank you very much indeed. It was, again, great fun. Absolutely great fun. And Toby Stevens and I got on so well. We had that insane sense of humour. And to the point where it's all about timing. We'd be in the 4 o'clock in the morning being hosed down with freezing cold water, pretending that we're on a boat in the middle of the... And what you can't see when you see the show is that those boats are actually in the middle of the African savannah. From the boat, all we can see, in miles in all directions, is the African plain. There's a Cape Town airport down the road, there's the township of Khayelitsha, and there's a freeway, and that's it. So when you're looking out, you're looking literally out across the African plain. It's the most extraordinary thing with Table Mountain. So when you're being hosed down, you're soaking wet at 4 o'clock in the morning, you need to have a bit of a sense of humour. It got to such a mad state that I'd wait just until he was about to say something about the shoot, and I'd just say, oh, what about so-and-so, and he would just break into fits of laughter and giggles that he couldn't even breathe. And there was one occasion, finally we got it down to a fine art, so I would just wait for the right moment, and we're dripping wet, freezing cold, 3 o'clock in the morning. I went, glamorous show business. And he went absolutely into convulsions. He had his head here on my just... And the first assistant, who was in charge of making everything move on the set, he looked at me and he was about to go, we ready? He went... He said, how long? How long is this going to be? 4 minutes this time. This wasn't 4 minutes. Go away, come back. And so we got it down to whenever we got the giggles falling over stupid, we'd do it the same way. He'd go, this is maybe 2, could be 2 minutes this, you know what I mean? Or 3, we don't know yet, you know. So we had a lot of fun. It was great fun to do, and I'm glad you enjoyed the show. So welcome to BritFest. Thank you for inviting me. It's a great honour to be back in Omaha, Nebraska. I was here about 3 years ago, but I was reminded by Chris that I was here 25 years ago, more than once actually, with Ray and Pete and a bunch of people, and apparently, and I can't swear to this because I actually don't remember it, we were driving down the freeway and apparently I mooned them in the car. So if you see a very British white bum hurtling down the freeway, it won't be me. behave myself now. Anyway, thank you very much indeed, gentlemen. Thank you for coming. Have a great time. As per normal, I will either be in the bar, and if all you need to do is offer me a drink, and I will tell you any stories you like about adventures in show business. After a while, you'll be playing, you'll be going, please stop. Just stop talking. Just have a drink, anything, but just stop. Right? So just have a good time, enjoy yourself. Thank you, and it's going to be a great weekend. Thank you very much indeed. Cheers.